Hey, you guys!
Isn't it about time for somebody to say that they trim?
Look at it roll. Now we can watch Jackie Gleason while we eat.
You guys, going camping?
Holy Testicle Tuesday.
Was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
We have had a doozy of a day.
A real doozy.
One tiny spark becomes a night of blazing suspense as the world's tallest building becomes the towering inferno. Steve McQueen, Paul Newman, William Holden, Faye Dunaway, Fred Astaire, Susan Blakely, Richard Chamberlain, Jennifer Jones, O.J. Simpson, Robert Vaughn, and Robert Wagner. Irwin Allen's production of The Towering Inferno. See it for Christmas at a theater near you. Rated PG.
Nobody does it better than Hertz.
Nobody does it better. Hertz leads the others by far.
Loki, you know I had to.
Oh, yeah.
You'll probably get copyright claim because of the music, but...
Nobody has more of what it takes.
Oh, you can mute it. You can mute it once you're done.
Or other fine car faster.
Hertz, the superstar.
You know it.
I have to get you to Suno us a replacement song for me. This one's even weirder.
You've seen Paul Newman undressing. Now you can see Paul Newman dressing. Burger King introduces Newman's own all-natural salad dressings in 6 great recipes on 4 great salads.
This is the moment! Oh my gosh!
Dressed better than the guy
This
who
is
created
the moment!
To give you a salad dressed like no one else, sometimes you've got to break the rules.
Boy, do I have a surprise for you.
I feel like my work here is done.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to Talk Hard. I hope your Tuesday is going well. It is about to get significantly better. It's the day I look forward to. Hope you guys are all out there being blessed and, talking hard amongst yourselves. So, with me, as always, this wonderful panel here to talk about a really, really underrated movie because it's kind of like time forgot this movie. So, yeah, Towering Inferno tonight. So, SQUEEKA, how are you doing? What's going on?
Doing great. I absolutely was blown away by this movie. I just other than the fact I'm mad at y'all for not telling me I was going to cry a lot, but other than that, I mean this is amazing movie.
Yeah, that's awesome. I do apologize. I did apologize backstage because I've watched this twice and realized the second time, oh man, yeah, SQUEEKA is going to cry, and I did not give her a heads up. Usually we give her a heads up on how many tear jerking moments or something like that, and we did not give her that kind of heads up. So, and we will talk a little bit about some behind.
The dressing, that was the moment. Okay, so I was watching the movie, and I'm like, where have I seen this guy? Where have I seen this guy? And then I thought I was just being stupid because I was like, he looks a lot like, I'm blanking. The other guy, the other main guy,
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen. Yep. He looks a lot like Steve McQueen, but not enough that they're twins. I was like, am I just being dumb? Is this like some of those makeup catchy things or something? What's going on? So I was like, no, I think he's somebody different. So I looked at I was like, but I know I've seen him like a lot. And I was like, but for somebody who doesn't watch movies, I was like, where have I seen him? So I was like, okay, hold on. I got to figure this out. So then sure enough, I Googled the cast And there he was. And I was like, out of nowhere, I think I scared Beard because I was like, it's the dressing guy. Oh my God. His Caesar's dressing is so delicious. Like, it's, oh my God.
And I knew I had remembered that commercial just very vaguely, and I could not believe I was able to find it so easily. Like, wow. So I actually put it on the Pops channel. It's there forever now. So I downloaded, put it up. And we will make some allusions to some behind-the-scenes featurettes and stuff. I will try to make some clips out of them, but it will not let you do the whole thing. So I have to, you know, refashion them, I think is a term they use, right, Loki? Like, we can refashion it. So, yeah, I'll do some repurposing, refashioning of some of these featurette moments, because behind the scenes of this movie is pretty epic indeed. So yeah, 51 years later, Tower Inferno.
You got to find that cauliflower pizza commercial. Newman's Own. Oh, cauliflower pizza. Yeah, California cuisine. You buy Newman Own pizza now.
Oh yes,
pizza. All
I'm
right.
telling y'all guys, I was so excited, and this was before all the crying, so I was totally vested. Now I was so excited. It's like, I know this guy. I feel famous because I know this famous man from his salad dressing.
I love the fact that you're growing and getting it. We don't do a lot of Paul Newman. I'm a Steve McQueen guy, not a Paul Newman guy, but I do have a lot of respect for Paul Newman. He also is a military guy, also is a race car guy. He's like an actual macho guy. It's one of the reasons they're so competitive, because they're kind of like the opposite side of the same coin. He just did a lot of movies I just don't enjoy, whereas the McQueen's resume is just phenomenal. So anyway,
just look at the different products they supported. I mean, Paul Newman, yes, he's got the salad dressing. He's the salad dressing guy. But then you've got, Steve McQueen's Mach 5 Mustang. Go and get one at your Ford dealership now. What do you think guys want more? The Newman Caesar salad dressing, or
Hey, what do you think girls want more too? Come on now. We're in the Mustang category. Don't you leave us alone in the dressing aisle, Loki.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, I don't know much about the Newman part in that era. I'm just not down that rabbit hole to know. I just know he's that big name alpha, star of that time. But like I said, the resume speaks for itself. But Loki, yeah, Towering Inferno, my friend. Wow, what a movie, huh?
What a movie, and so many wonderful people in this movie. You'll recognize everybody. If you watched any kind of TV in the 80s, you're going to recognize half these people. If you watched any movies in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, you're going to recognize everybody in this movie. So, great movie. I didn't warn SQUEEKA. Oops. I didn't even think about it. I haven't watched this movie. I think the last time I watched this movie was with my dad when he was still alive. So that would have been some point before 2016 when I moved to Missouri. So that would have been somewhere before that was the last time I saw this.
Wow.
It was good watching. This was one of his favorite movies. So this is something that got played all the time.
Yeah, like your dad, man. I love the master of disaster type movies. This was right up my alley. So IRONCASTER, my friend, what's going on?
Just getting a little late, but hopefully I didn't burn the house down on my way in.
No problem, man. We're doing good. We're having a good time, and we'll have to let you catch up with that intro again. I'm not sure we can recapture all those moments because certain that the copyright people will come after us for at least a little bit of the music. But you get the SQUEEKA giggles, and I don't know what else there to say. It's like it just makes it all worthwhile, my friend.
It's DACA, brother.
Oh.
It is DACA. Anyway, also, you wonderful people out in chat, how are you? Hope you are doing well. Welcome to Talk Hard. And kicking things off, Scott Westbrook throwing down a $5, man. That's the old Sheba dog giving us a little clap. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you, man. He's been a big fan, a big supporter for so long, and appreciate his friendship in this journey, man. It's amazing. So, and there's Snorty. Snorty's doing great. Snorty's out here holding the door open for everybody, saying hello to everyone. So appreciate you. And the YouTube lets us give away some memberships. So get your early access to some different videos and things like that. Resolute Germ Anonymous, Wagabundo Devon. That's an interesting name. I like watching videos. And American Badger. Yeah, well, welcome to the old Popmonics. So there you go, man. Great comment here from the Blue Man. Said, I watched this movie many moons ago and enjoyed it. Well, hopefully you'll watch it again, my friend. Hopefully if you haven't seen it in a minute, you can throw it back in there. So. And There's Penny. Penny's on her way over to Hooked on Mission, so be safe going around, Penny. Keep us in mind for watching later on. There's probably a movie you would enjoy as well. And Squeeka Mouse throwing in 5 memberships for you guys as well. Thank you, Squeeka, for that. You're so generous. Those went out here to Stephen Ransom, Cinema Copa, Apollome's Minion. Wow, great to see her. Arwen Avalon, and the Grifter. So some great folks there. Thank you, Squeeka, for your generosity and friendship in this as well. Support. Claude's here. Great to see you, man. Hope you're doing all right. I love the fact that we're throwing on the green hearts. That's how you do things. That's right. Oh, man. Christian, I haven't seen you for a minute, brother. Hope you're doing all right, man. Bonjour, everybody. A great Remembrance Day to you all. Great Remembrance Day to you, too. Yes, Veterans Day indeed. So, and Zach's throwing in. Hey, man. Hope you're doing all right, brother. Great to see you. OJ really took a stab at this role. Too soon? No, not too soon. I think you're right on, man. I think you're right on indeed. So let's see what you did there.
It's such a shame he died without having caught the killer.
Well, just look. I mean, you know,
He saved the cat.
yeah, he saved the cat.
Have you guys covered Old Yeller? Yeah, we're not doing that this week. That's just brutal, man.
No.
That'd make
Why, is it
Ironcaster
bad?
cry.
Oh, it made oh no.
That'd make Ironcaster cry.
I don't mind crying.
Oh, it'd be brutal. Old Yeller is brutal. It's like its legacy is just being a tearjerker movie. It's like a just
Think on the level of Where the Red Fern Grows.
Yeah, I've read the book.
Yeah.
Here's Wade. Hey, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Snorty summoned into that salad was arrested for public indecency. I guess it should have been dressed before leafing. Look at Snorty throwing in all the puns and stuff tonight. Very good. Very good. Lots of hellos going around there. And the lovely Sherry's joining us. Great to see you. How you been? Hope you're doing all right. Things are good. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here indeed. So, all right. Let me get to Ironcaster first because Ironcaster, had you seen... Well, let me make sure I added him to this scene, by the way, because I'm not sure I did. Let me fix this. Real here? No, it's not letting me fix it. So let me just get back. I'll go back. I don't know why it's not letting me fix it, so I can't do the share screen right now. It's broken.
No.
Ironcaster, my friend, had you seen the old Tower in Inferno?
No, this was a first time watch for me. The thing is, it's a lot of it falls into that category of disaster films that I've never really felt an urge to watch. Like, a lot of them are like just kind of never really caught my interest. I'm like, I want to be entertained by something. I don't want to be, on the edge of my seat watching like Pierce Brosnan fight a volcano.
I feel you, dude.
Wait, is that a thing?
Oh yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah.
Dante's and
Dante's Peak.
I grew up having to watch this shit. Yeah, it's Dante's Peak. I grew up having Twister, Dante's Peak,
I love
Inferno.
Yeah, I like Twister.
The disaster movies, and I like Twister too. I do, except for the new 4K thing because they turned everything green. I like the old before they added all the green. But
you remember the year that like we had we had Deep Impact, we had that other asteroid movie, the one where.
But don't forget, was it 2001? Was it 2001 or was it 2000? I can't remember. It was the movie with who's the guy who stands under that chick's window with the radio?
Oh, you're talking about the 2000, the movie, the 2012, the Y2K
2012,
John
yes.
Cusack.
The Mayan or the Aztec calendar ends in 2012. Yeah, because they ran out of room, you dumb bastards. It was a big stone, and they ran out of room. There was no more room to write any more dates down. God help me. The world's going to end.
Wait 1 second, Ironcaster. Let me make sure I can get you in here. I had to reset the screen. There we go. Now we can hear Ironcaster.
I know you're talking about Ironcaster. Wasn't there like 2 Storm movies that year too?
It happens all the time where we get these little tropes, we get these trends of doing these types of movies, and I feel like it was ultimately topped when we had Bruce Willis and Aerosmith going into space to stop an asteroid.
Don't forget The Rock fighting a tsunami and a hurricane in that last one that they made, the San Andreas.
Oh no!
All right, you guys are ruining my love for a disaster movie. So Irwin Allen is the
Well,
master of
no,
disaster
these
movies.
pops.
In the
We gotta stop right
1970s,
there.
he
We gotta
actually
stop
did
right there.
these things right.
These movies have gotten so incredibly dumb. Like, remember in 2020 or 2021, we had the one about them dropping the moon on the Earth.
Yeah,
Moonfall.
Moonfall. That's actually Eris's favorite movie of all time. I hate it. She's got the movie poster full size. She's got the
Oh my
movie
gosh.
poster. She's got a DVD, a
I couldn't
Blu-ray,
watch
a
it.
4K, and a steelbook. She's got like a shrine to that damn movie. And I'm like, no, I'm not watching it again. Ever. It's horrible.
It was terrible.
Moon
I
that's
couldn't get through
on
it.
the Earth. And it's like, oh, whoa, we're going to have it fly down and almost hit a mountain. And you're like, yeah, no, that's not how that works. This is not, it's like whoosh, whoosh as it goes by, and you're like, yeah, nah,
Wow. I don't even know what to say. The panel and I are diverging very quickly on this whole disaster movie thing. So, because Irwin Allen is a 1970s, he adapted novels. These are like actual stories and stuff. So that's the way it's all pro firefighter and it's all like, thank you, America, and all that kind of stuff. Poseidon Adventures, like a true story, inspirational book. Like, this is the kind of stuff I totally get that the hate you would have for Deep Impact in San Andreas, and I don't even know what to say about Moonfall. I'm sorry to Eris, I couldn't even get through it. I got maybe 20 minutes or so, and I'm like, this is not going well. We're not going to, no, just the premise.
Imagine having to sit in a theater with like 4D glasses and your seat shaking and rumbling and all that shit while all that's going on. It was horrible. Don't ever go see a disaster movie in 4D. Godzilla was great. This was not.
I want the video of Loki watching Moonfall rather than having to watch Moonfall.
Yes.
To put it in context, Pop, I took one look at this and said, "Oh dear God, no."
Oh, all right. So, all right, he went into it, with some pessimism. We'll see how what his thought is after watching it. So, Soul Assassin, great to see you, brother. Hope you're doing all right. And let's see here. Y'all remember the disaster movie versus the late '90s? Yeah, that's we're in the middle of the. Just once it started, I think probably Twister started it, right? Yeah.
Well, they
and there is a
copied
volcano.
that
Yeah.
too. They copied that. So the day Twister came out, who's the guy in Army of Darkness?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell came out with his own movie, and it was like instead of it being called Dorothy, it was called Oz, the machine that he had. I mean, to a T, to getting wrapped up in the eye of the tornado at the end of the movie. It's exactly the same beat for beat, and it came out on TV the day Twister came out.
Did they like just steal the scripts and make their own like little?
Yes.
Like when you get AI to write your paper for you, like.
Yes. Somebody had straight up copy pasted the entire premise of the movie into this movie. I don't know if Bruce Campbell knew that or not and did it anyway. Maybe he was up for the role and he didn't get it. I don't know, but yeah, beat for beat, it's the same damn movie.
All right, so just to be credit our beloved Bruce Campbell, unless the script went cross town, they were released within a couple of weeks of each other in 1996.
Yeah.
So I don't think they copied each other on purpose, but I wouldn't be shocked if there's not some sort of weird, studio shenanigans going on behind the scene. But again, that just goes to the legacy of Bruce Campbell never getting a break. It's like the poor man, even when he tries to do decent things. Oh, well. Okay, let's get back to Towering Inferno. All right, we're going to just put you on the shelf, Ironcaster. We'll see. We'll come back to you and see how you feel about the movie as we unpack it a little bit. So, SQUEEKA, first time for you. All these stars lining up. You get a little McQueen, little salad dressing guy. Faye Dunaway is this famous actress in the middle. What say you, lady?
I thought it was amazing. I absolutely love this movie. Minus the sad bits, but those will get better with time. I think, maybe, I hope. But I mean, it was so well done. The only thing I'm kind of with Beard on this. We were talking about the only thing I kind of didn't like about some of it is I feel like the tension grabbing moments, they drag on a little too long in some places, and you're like, okay, this is going on for a while. I know they're gonna be okay. Like the scene where they're it's the lady and the kids, and
Mm.
the stairs break and they have to go down one by one, and I just felt like some of those scenes were a little long, but for the most part, like, oh my gosh, I love this movie.
It's all fair. I mean, it's fair. I think the one thing he does that most people won't do, though, he will actually kill off a character. There are characters that do get killed off.
I know.
I didn't time it out right here to get like Robert Wagner's character or something like that. So, uh, yeah,
Oh my gosh, yeah, where they all get on the chair and oh, but the worst was the elevator and the lady with the
yep.
cat, y'all. Y'all, I was rooting for her and the little man. Oh, I'm cranking.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, here we go. Jennifer Jones and Fred Astaire. So famous again. This is
yeah.
Hollywood royalty type people, folks. The famous Fred Astaire playing the con man to the rich lady, and she makes it on the elevator, but unbeknownst to her, elevator explosion. Next thing you know, she's gone.
They had a great buildup with that actually, like
Yes.
where they had the one older couple, for example, where they were kind of going back and forth, and one was saying to the other, "I don't think we're all going to make it." And there's sort of this implication that like you think that like the husband is going to go. I think that was Jack Collins and Sheila Allen. And with the build up there was sort of this idea where I was watching it thinking, oh, they're setting up the flag that the husband isn't going to be the one making it out of this, and that's just kind of the opposite wound up being true. That surprised me there.
Yeah, that was the mayor and his wife, and the wife is actually the director's actual wife. And I think that's 100% right. The film does such a great job of introducing and handling so many characters because there's countless characters in this first sort of act of the movie as they're kind of going on. It's almost a little hard the first time you watch this movie to kind of keep track of who everybody is, and you know what I mean. They're all their different relationships and dynamics and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think you do get pretty attached to everybody. I mean, I even like I kind of forgot how much I like the bartender guy. Like he's kind of clever with just
Yes.
a couple of little lines here and there. Next thing you know, it's like, oh, I didn't want to see that happen to the bartender guy. Yeah. So,
But then
oh,
again, there's that one sleazy dude, and you're ready for him. You're ready.
oh yeah, that's a Richard Chamberlain's character. Yeah. hmm Oh yeah. Look at what surprised you most about rewatching it again. Was there something that kind of jumped out at you?
The stars, especially the cast. There's a huge cast. Seeing O.J. Simpson in something besides Naked Gun, you almost forget that it was more than just that in football. Hollywood loved him. They kept wanting to use him. They were like, you're gonna be our big thing." I mean, hell, he was running around in a commercial to a James Bond theme.
hmm
Like he could have been the next Black James Bond. So he was huge, and all of them were. Steve McQueen, everybody. Paul Newman. Shit, you got a star-studded cast.
There's Richard Chamberlain. He was huge at the time, by the way. It's like this
Yeah,
is just a massive TV star at the time.
Shogun.
My mom still adores him. Oh my gosh, my mom is obsessed with Richard Chamberlain.
He was in the original Shogun miniseries.
Yeah, yeah. This is Susan Blakely. She's also a soap star, I believe. Super popular. There's the famous Robert Wagner, who's talked about this movie a lot. He's actually one of the actors that has been asked about it over the years, and put a towel in your head and run out here, and yeah, great
It was
scene. Great.
also a very good number 2.
Yes, yes. Oh, Austin Powers. Yeah. The kids. Faye Dunaway. I got the hot Faye Dunaway back in the day.
She
Fred
looked
Astaire.
like she could have been related to Sigourney Weaver. That's the first thing I was like, man, Sigourney Weaver looks a lot like her.
That's true.
That's true. If I hadn't like paid attention to the cast of credits and didn't know that she wasn't in here, when I saw this and I was like, I for a minute there I had to Google it because I thought maybe that was her mom, and I just didn't know that because I was
Yeah.
dumb. I'm like, I'm movie dumb. Let me figure this out. I was like, oh, I was wrong.
Well, like I said earlier, I've seen this probably like a dozen times, and I just never. There's things you catch. There'll be new things you catch, and I never realized. Wow, she looks so much like Sigourney Weaver. Is she related? Is that her aunt or something?
I don't think they're related at all. I'm looking to see just in case there's something that I might have missed, but
I didn't find anything when I looked.
yeah. So also, you bring up a great point. That's just one of the things I thought about with this movie in particular, and his work with Poseidon Adventure, is how back in the day it was about getting on TV and trying to make the transition to film. Like that was the big move. Now, of course, these Hollywood stars are going to go do streaming shows and whatever. So it's kind of gone. We've gone full circle. So I'm not sure how anyone thinks about anything. So, but yeah, it was a big deal to be a TV star getting invited on these things. And there's some of the great successes were because they could do it and keep the budgets down. Ironcatcher, are you even familiar with who some of the stars were, or did you have to do kind of like a little check on and off again to kind of get who some of these people were?
There were a couple that I saw and I recognized, but just because they're sort of from an age of films I don't watch as nearly as much of. I have to go and do a little bit of a cross referencing to look at them and find out who they are. Like the band Bigelow, number two, like we were saying. Fred Astaire was another one that kind of jumped out at me, like, oh, I recognize him.
Yeah, yeah. Your answer to my question, I was going to ask you who jumped out at you the most. William Holden is another interesting name too. It's one of these poor guys who has not. His legacy has sort of like become forgotten. He's a Hollywood legend, but like from the 50s, like really before all of this. So he won like an Oscar back in the day for a movie called Stalag 17, Sunset. He was in Sunset Boulevard and Sabrina and Bridge on River Kwai, Wild Bunch. These massive successes from the 50s. But by the time you fast forward to the 70s, he's not the big name. He was really mad about the billing going and the money going because obviously they got big paydays, $1 million a piece for Paul Newman and Steve McQueen. But William Holden is a much bigger name than I think we realize. But the time this is a lot later in life, so to speak. So, yeah. SQUEEKA, how do we jump into a movie like this? Where do you want to talk about first?
So, I mean, I don't know. It's just.
Could go to your tear-jerking moment and just get right to the worst parts.
No,
get to the right.
no.
Just like.
Well, they were just the way they built it. They like you say, like the way they built up the characters. It's this weird feeling because on one hand you're like, okay, I know this is a catastrophe movie. So I'm like, you expect half of them to die, and then they start not dying, and you're like, okay, they're being a little more positive. Like, oh, look, she made it through the thing with the kids. Oh, look, they're in the promenade. Like, you start getting more and more hope, and then that happens. Like, what? And then he rescues the cat after it, and you're like, oh, cat, I got news for you.
But I will say it is kind of amusing. Ironcaster, you would have picked this up too. Like O.J. Simpson is kind of like around a lot in the first half, maybe, and then just vanishes for the third act, and then randomly shows up with the cat. It's like, where was this dude walking around with this cat the whole time? Like, it was crazy to me. That's probably one of my interesting. Like, what happened? Is there a deleted scene or two with poor O.J.? Anyway. Ironcaster, what was the thoughts of a film this old, 50 years? Having these kind of practical effects like this?
I was more so caught up with this film, just going over and thinking about the complexities of how would you even fight something like this. The safe precautions in a lot of ways that we take for granted. But the practical effects are so great. My favorite stuff is always going to be a lot of the miniature set stuff. Like anytime you just get those little sets of like anytime you get the sets with water work playing where you see like the giant droplets of water that are just bursting out, it always puts a little smile on my face.
Gotcha. They again, this is where Irwin Allen's legacy is so famous, is because he was so meticulous. And again, there's back to behind the scenes featurette type things you can watch guys that get into some of this. He had like a whole separate. So there's a director of this film, but Irwin Allen directed these sequences. So all the scenes with the fire and the stunts and all that, he actually directed. He had a whole separate team that was there coordinating and organizing and taking care of all this, which is completely separate from how the production was being done. So it is phenomenal. I mean, I think Steve McQueen's ankle injury is the only actual injury on the set. So there's, because it didn't seem awkward. I don't know if you caught this or not, SQUEEKA, Ironcaster, your first watch, that it seemed like there's several scenes where McQueen is sitting down. You're like, why is he sitting down again? This seems weird. It seems because it happens several times. I'm like, oh, well, he hurt his ankle, so they had to rewrite scenes so that he could logistically be sitting down. So, let's see.
I will say, from someone who spent a couple of years in commercial construction and like worked with architects and builders and things like that, there were some parts of the movie that I accidentally like nitpicked and was like, poor Beard. I was like, oh, you can't do that. That's a blah 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 blah. And I'm like, this wouldn't work for this because that's not a load bearing plate. And some of the code standards and things like that. I understand this movie was done 50 years ago, but part of me was like, now, that's not going to work.
Well, I understand. Now, again, you guys can fact check me, but I'm pretty sure this movie helped make a lot of code changes. Like this movie inspired a lot of people to examine fire safety. I mean, literally, that was, I don't want to say it was an agenda, but it was kind of an agenda, I think, of the book. It was an agenda of the writer. Like, here's a story. This is kind of what happened. I guess we should talk about that too a little bit, guys, because I don't know if you guys watch those behind the scenes stuff, but this is the books went on auction and Irwin Allen lost in the bidding war. Another studio got the film. So he went out and got another book and he auctioned that one. Then he got down with the two studio heads and organized a special meeting. And Fox and Warner Brother came together for the first time in history ever to share a production. They would share the production. Otherwise, he was going to beat them to the punch. They didn't have an option. We can either come together and do this together, or we could have a mess with two films. And it's the first time studios ever did that. And in doing so, he crafted just an entire film around the best of both stories, I think. And then, like I said, it inspired a lot of fire saves. So I don't know. I don't want to totally speak out of turn, but that's kind of my impression, at least. So,
well, I could see that. I could see how it sparked a lot of like, fire safety, building code changes, things like that. I can see that there were a lot of things that happen now, and I don't know if it's because of this movie or just things that have happened, but I could certainly see people watching this and and it's so well done. It's not hokey at all, that I could see people watching this, and especially with the pun intended rise of skyscrapers,
mm-hmm.
they're like, wait a minute, remember that movie? So I could see that. I could see this changing a lot of different, like I know for a fact, like code violations now, whatever the architect puts down, like they were talking about how they used a different material. Whenever the architect specifies, they have to use, or they have to go back and ask permission to change it, and then it has to be recoded. Like they have to do their specs and everything else on it again. So switching materials like that, unless it's exactly the same, just a different name, like, I don't know, name brand milk versus regular milk. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It has to have the same kind of chemical makeup for them to do the switch, or else it has to be rewritten and respect. But so, like, I could see stuff like that too, even changing. Like, hey, what if we didn't allow this anymore? And like the different inspections and stuff like that.
This happens a lot with food and health. I mean, I can definitely attribute there's a lot of food and health shenanigans. That's part of the reason there's such a big issue with the diet and stuff like that. Is because they just change names and stuff like that. So.
Well, it brings to mind some of the other films we've looked at. Like, remember, for example, when we were watching Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, and he was talking about trying to get a business started, and you had to pay off the Teamsters, had to pay off this people or that people, all to just be able to get through. And it just kind of got me thinking about all those different sides of just every challenge and hurdle that go into trying to build something as simple as a business, let alone the world's largest skyscraper.
Oh yeah, 100%. And this is where our current president has this weird legacy with being a real estate guy, building these massive buildings and whatever, brokering all these deals and managing all this stuff. So it's birthed out of that. And growing up in this era where, and I was too young to have seen this when it came out, but obviously I grew up with this movie because my mom loved these movies. I remember there were not fire alarms like we see now. There's, there's fire alarms everywhere in every building you go into, especially schools. Obviously, there was asbestos pretty much and everything, lead paint. I mean, these were kind of things that were pretty commonplace in my childhood. Like, I don't not even look a little bit like, it's my wife passed me a meme the other day, and it was like don't mess with Gen Xers, and it was like we survived all these things. Like, sure, we drink from hoses, but we lick lead paint and ate whiteout and paste and so yeah, I think what you guys are saying is spot on. Like, it really is an interesting film and a dynamic of, how much has changed in just 50 years. 50 years is a long time, don't get me wrong, but it's only been 50 years. Think about just the perspective. Like, yeah.
All of our toys had that lead paint. Anything that had metal on it in the 70s and the 80s had that lead paint on it.
And it was delicious. But it wasn't until the 70s, 80s even that the sprinkler systems became mandatory in buildings.
Yeah, we didn't have a sprinkler system in elementary school. Nope. Let me say hey to Jacob Ironside. And for those, I'll plug it again at the end of the show. I will be on with Jacob tonight. So 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. I'll be on with Jacob talking Terminator 2. That's right, a little T2 talk. So don't get to be there very often, but be there tonight. So great to see you, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Gavin Newsom should watch this. Thanks, Zach. Make sure you let him know. Send him a link. Maybe he can come on, talk about fire safety. Tower Inferno. But yeah, epic stuff. I was really curious on what everybody's thoughts were, especially for a first time watch, seeing these kinds of scenes, pulling all this stuff together. It really is a magnificent. Back in the day, I mean, just like Loki, we grew up in an era where like pyrotechnics was like exceedingly dangerous. There were accidents with movies or concerts and pyrotechnics pretty much every year, 2 or 3 times a year, every year growing up, right?
Oh yeah. You had
regular.
pyrotechnics. You had,
aircraft accidents the famous Twilight Zone movie. There's tons of it. It wasn't like a little bit of things. Like now it's like maybe once every couple of years we have some major tragedy, some major accident, something like that. But it was pretty common because these things were crazy. So look at that. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. What great stunt work too. Lancaster, you have to give props to the crap. They really set dudes on fire and ran them on lines and had them falling and all sorts of crazy stuff in this movie, huh?
It just goes to show you the art and craft that goes into making movies, and there's just so much of that is lost nowadays. Where the simple answer would be just to make it in CG, and you lose a lot of that authenticity. Like ultimately, like I would much rather see a person actually getting set on fire, or the comedy pratfall of just throwing a mannequin out a window, or a stuff that's supposed to be the guy, but you can clearly tell it's a person. Or you can just clearly tell it's like a stuffed ragdoll stunt double.
Yep.
See, I don't care if you
and here's
can
one of
see
your
those things. If you can see, if you're like, oh, that's a green screen for sure. I hate that. I don't care. I don't care. I think it's beautiful how it's like magic. But nowadays, it's the CGI is just taking all that out of there. It's not magic anymore. It's not, oh my gosh, how did they make this work? Or like there's explosions going off everywhere, or yeah, some of it's not realistic. Smoke doesn't travel like that. It's not that thick. You could nitpick it apart if you really wanted to, but I still like the fact that it looks that way. It looks real in its unrealness, if that makes sense.
Well, even when they're using miniatures like these shots, right, and they're putting them together, they're using the same strategies, Loki, that you and we talk about all the time. Hey, Hollywood, morons, quit using the daylight, whatever. Use the shadows to your advantage. Make it look good. This is 50 years ago and looks incredible.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And get back to using practical effects. They don't want to do that. They pretty much got rid of everybody that was an expert in that. Because why not just CG? We'll just CG everything. It's so easy. For the people that don't know, some of the really old stuff, some of the really old CG stuff that they could not do back in the day, like scenes in space from the last Starfighter, those took forever to do that little bit of stuff, and they couldn't do that with models. If they could have, they would have. It would have been easier. It would have been cheaper. They pretty much had to invent a way to do it. And it's become so everything's got to happen in it. Nothing is real. No one's really standing there. You're in a green room, and you hear actors talk about that all the time and how shit it is. So they've got to find some happy medium where you use CGI when it's needed, but if it's not, go practical.
Yeah, such a it's not just a lost art. It's not even like an effort to do it. So here's one of the images from the models. So it wasn't like he built a little tiny one for some of the shots. Some of them were pretty massive. So yeah, crazy budget though. But he made this. He made this. This was a huge. I put the thing as the first big blockbuster. It is sort of amongst that. It's right before Jaws. Jaws, of course, is another game changer type film. But yeah, epic.
Is Jaws on the list?
Yeah, we need to do Jaws again just for SQUEEKA
No,
experience.
I
for sure.
can watch it on my own. It's okay.
No, you do not. We want to watch it again anyway. We should have watched it this year.
It's okay.
Oh, I see it. I see it at least once a year. Are you kidding? So we should have watched it this year, but I messed up. So it's on me. So yeah, it was the 50th anniversary this year, but we'll watch it. We'll get a fit in. I don't know. I also love the fact that because all the rumors and all the stuff about Hollywood celebrities, and I know I'm so sick of bickering with people about how they were in real life, whatever. Yeah, they're competitive guys. The stories are a little crazy, but they also had a good time hanging out together, making a movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. We can have stars who are like competitive, like McQueen. McQueen demanded they had the same number of lines, so they had to rewrite the script a little bit so he had the same number of lines as the Newman character, because the Newman character technically is the lead of the movie. So I don't know. I think it worked great, and I love when I see images like this to realize these guys are actually having a good time making a movie. We don't see that behind the scenes much anymore, do we?
Nope.
Well, I mean, if everything's green screen, they're not allowed to have a good time making a movie together because they don't get to. They just get to go into a room with this green wall. It's like solitary confinement in a camera.
Well, the thing is, in a lot of cases, we're seeing stories where they're not even in the same place to film together. They may not even meet each other on set. There is no camaraderie. There is no connection of the actors. There is no genuine sense there because, well, these two actors in the scene could have been filmed months apart.
Yeah, and they did that with a lot of The Hobbit. They had Ian McKellen doing stuff in a green screen by himself. The majority of the movie, he was by himself in a green screen room and trying to interact with people that he had not talked to, that he hadn't worked with. He hadn't, hey, we should do this like this and talk to it. None of that was there. So he just had to stand in the green room and do his lines. And they were in New Zealand doing theirs.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the details about The Hobbit that contributed to it being so much less impactful than the original trilogy that we forget to talk about. I think we talk about some of the other issues, but not that one. That's definitely one that huge factor in that film, I think. So
at one of these years, we should do 3 talk cards, one for each one of the films.
The Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah. We turn into like the Hobbit month or something.
It's got to be the extended editions, though.
Oh, of course.
I haven't seen them yet.
So we could do the 3 extended editions and then do a show just on the Hobbit movies, because I don't want to talk about each one individually. We can just talk about one of them. I don't want to. Yeah.
No.
I don't usually watch. I don't usually watch the Hobbit movies, but I will for you. I don't mind watching them but I don't go out of my way to watch them. The extended Lord of the Rings I watch every year.
So
So
what we do is we do 3 episodes for the movies, and then we do like
yep,
the animated movie.
that's a maybe. That's a maybe.
That way we can turn it into like a.
It actually is like the 25th anniversary next year of Lord of the Rings, so we can do that. That'll work. Yeah, we can do that. We'll figure. I'll redo the schedule, make it work.
Well, one of the things about the actors, like saying, them being in the room together, I feel like when they're allowed to act together and they're on set together, it's not just the off camera times where like that picture where they're laughing and stuff. I feel like because they're acting together, they have a vested interest in one another. And like the case with, Fred Astaire and the cool lady, the cat
Jennifer
lady,
Jones.
Jennifer Jones. So cat lady and Fred Astaire, like, throughout the movie, because they're filming together, because they're probably, off screen rehearsing their lines together, they get to work together. At the end of the movie, like, he's really devastated. Like, he is really sad. And it's easier for them as actors. Not that they're not good actors, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you can tell when people have interacted with one another.
Very true. Very, very true. Definitely part of that lost art that we talked about. So I know we briefly talked about it. SQUEEKA, I wanted your thoughts, though. I know I put the little commercial in the intro on purpose. It had to be weird. I think we leaked to you that OJ was in the movie. It had to be weird though,
Yeah, it was
seeing
weird.
OJ, right? And not like a little bit. He's like a very heroic role in the movie. And it's played very serious.
He was kind of like an American hero back then.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loved him.
It was good to see him in it, because the only other exposure I had was, of course, the trial, the football, and the airplane movie. So it's like
Naked Gun. Yeah.
Naked Gun. Sorry.
You're
so
okay.
it's like seeing him here and in this, I gained a lot more respect for the man. Like, he was really good.
He was trying to make it work.
Wonder
He
what
really
happened
was.
with
There was
him
a
and
lot
the
of.
cat, but yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I was.
He just disappeared with that cat for a while. He started walking around. Is there a deleted scene, Loki, where he's walking around outside? Hey, is yours your cat? This your cat? This your cat? Yours? You?
Well, because the best part was I
think
didn't know what part he was playing. So all I knew is it's, the movie started and I'm like, okay, it's this big, huge tower. I'm like, okay, well, is he going to be like one of the ritzy residents or something? And then there he is, the security guard guy. And he's not even a dunce on it. Like, he's handling things. He's like, well, that's not supposed to be. I'm going to go check it out. And he's really Johnny on the spot about everything. Like, I loved his role in this movie. I was so floored. All 81, 84, 300 floors of it. Like, I was so amazed by just, this was the coolest thing I'd ever seen OJ do.
I want to see the movie.
Promotional
I want to see the movie of
Podcaster.
O.J. Simpson and that cat going around trying to find the killer.
Oh boy.
Hey Sylvester, you know where that mother is?
If the mitten ain't fitting, you is a quittin', right, kitten?
That's right.
Oh, so much fun. Don't know where else to go with this. Did you have a real favorite part, Ironcaster, since it was your first time watching?
I mean, it's a little tough to pick because there is a lot of really good stuff in this that is worth enjoying. I guess if I have to pick something for now, I'm gonna say it's just Robert Wagner being the smarmy prick you want to see get his comeuppance. Like, among everything else, I was waiting to see how does he get what he has coming. I mean, aside from, of course, Steve McQueen just being a complete another star. I was like, I'm gonna go with Robert Wagner.
I want to
But I
clarify
don't want him
because
to
I want to
take
make
the
sure.
other people with him, though. That was made it so hard. Like, he got his comeuppance, but man, why did the other 3 or 4 other people have to die?
You meant Richard Chamberlain? Or did you mean Robert Wagner?
Oh no, I'm sorry, Richard Chambers.
Okay. Yeah. He's. I think this is one of the best parts of Richard Chamberlain in this movie is he's playing a character that's kind of opposite, like the public's image of him, right? Because Loki, you're hit the nail on it when you're talking about Shogun. That was like the reputation of Shogun or whatever. And he's like, and instead in this one, he's like the alcoholic scumbag, and he's going to throw everybody else out of line so he can get to the front of the line and save himself, that kind of thing. So yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Depth. It really shows the depth of acting and what he could pull off.
I googled it. That's what I know him from. Oh my goodness. Sorry, revelation.
What are you talking about, SQUEEKA? Help us through.
The Wagner guy. I'm like, I know him, and I've never seen Austin Powers. I'm like, what do I know him from? And it's not salad dressing this time, y'all guys. But the Heart to Heart series.
Heart to Heart TV show? Yeah, I was going to say it's hard. It's either 2.5 Men or Heart to Heart. One of the two.
No, it's Heart to Heart.
Yeah, he's a star of Heart to Heart. That was huge for him back in the day. Huge for him back in the day.
I think my grandma used to watch that all the time, and I'm like, where have I seen him the whole time? Newman was the only one I really Googled, and I was like, what did I know him from? No, because I didn't want to ruin anything before the talk hard. And I'm like, no, I got to save all my learning from the guys. I got to give them. They have to learn from them first. But Heart to Heart. Oh, my bad.
We did do a Pink Panther talk on A Shot in the Dark, which is the second Pink Panther movie. He's in the first one though. He's like the goofy little nephew, and yeah, so he's kind of, playboy guy in that one too. So I really do feel like it's McQueen's movie. I know I'm so biased. Everybody can tell me how much more this is a Newman movie. Newman has to play the guy who's got it wrong. Like everything fell apart. He's been betrayed by everything else, if that makes sense. But McQueen gets to be the guy who's like, you guys keep building. I gotta try to save everybody else's butt because you keep building these skyscrapers. And oh, by the way, who are you going to get up there to set those explosives? I said they're going to get some fool like me to go up there. It's so great.
Well, and he gets on the hook to get the elevator. Like,
yeah.
And the way he's
Crazy,
all like,
isn't it?
it's okay, dude, I got you. Like the way he supports that little scaredy firefighter guy that's afraid of rappelling at first, and then it's on the elevator. I'm pretty sure they're the same firefighter, but I loved McQueen in this more than I liked Newman.
Yeah. Your Muslim uncle popped in here. Didn't say hello to him. Hopefully you're doing all right. It's good, man. Good to see you. Snorty knew the Heart to Heart reference, so jumped on that. And Joey's asking, what is this? Are you talking about Tower and Inferno? 1974 Blockbuster film. Definitely check it out, Joe, if you haven't seen it. So
not just that, but it was also like one of the last blockbusters before Jaws redefined what a blockbuster even was.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, Irwin Allen made so much money off of the Poseidon Adventure, such a big hit. And I think it was really the movement. It was like these movies were moving in this direction where everybody would get, imagine that, guys. Imagine that. We would all come together, no matter what our political differences, no matter what ethnicity you were, no matter what it was, you would all just come together and go see movies like Poseidon Adventure and Tower and Inferno, ultimately Jaws and Star Wars and Indiana Jones. And yeah, imagine those times. Wonder why some of us are so bitter that it's not like that anymore.
Everything's got to be divisive. Everything has to be divisive. So you can't.
No, it doesn't.
Bring people together because.
Sorry, Loki.
Oh, it's okay. It's
I was trying to be divisive.
I'm not.
I would much rather laugh about it than get pissed off about it.
To put it in perspective, I knew what I was getting. I didn't know exactly what I was getting into, but when I was looking for the movie. So usually it's like rent this on Amazon for like $1 or $2 or whatever. If it's not like on Tubi or wherever else. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Where can I watch this? So I was looking for where to watch it, and you have to rent it for $15 from Amazon. And I was like, dang, this movie better be a good movie for $15. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I can see why they charge that just to rent it.
Just says they made this today. Tom Cruise would have done all the stunts on the elevator and the helicopter. I can see that. I could see them actually remaking this movie. I don't really want them to remake this movie, but I could see them
No.
doing it. If I remade the movie, let's say I had to, let's play that fictional game. Okay, we have to remake the movie. If we can get Tom Cruise to play the McQueen character, can we get Denzel to play the architect? Because I think that we could actually pull off. I think we can make that work. I
Yeah,
don't know
that
who.
could
I don't
work.
know who is opposite Tom Cruise's level, unless we get someone of the statue like a Denzel. You know what I mean? He's so good that no one would question it. You know what I mean?
They've gotta keep the heart and soul of this though. If they
Yeah,
were
you
to
got
do
it.
anything like that, and there's just no respect for that in Hollywood. They don't care.
Right.
None of these people care about honoring the way it was or the intention behind it. So I highly doubt they could pull it off, but maybe if you had a couple
Right.
of people that actually cared enough to put the work in, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Stallone? I can see him playing an architect.
Hey, yo,
I think
the
Stallone would have
building's
been better.
fine.
Yeah, he's not playing an
After
architect. He would have
Death
been one
Race,
of the
I
rich
can't take him
guests.
serious.
I mean, he's
I
kind of
think.
like that sort of thing with like was it that escape movie where he's like a guy who builds prisons and figures out how to escape them. Like, yeah, I gotta do the prison.
Can we have Stallone as the OJ role, like the security guard that saves the cat? Can we do that?
Well, hey,
Stallone do that?
kitty, I get the kitty. Meow.
God.
Guys are crazy. What, Highwayman says, "What a great year for films in general."
Meow.
By the way,
Sorry.
Maybe I'll fight the kitty, or maybe I won't.
Stop.
It's some kind of little creature. You gotta pick it up and you scratch me. Ow. Meow.
Meow.
meow done.
You listen here, meow.
Meow done. Highwayman says,
Meowby.
"Great year in
No,
film."
I'm not done. I'm still muted.
Highwayman, hang in there. We'll get there eventually. 1974 is an epic year. I'm always kind of blown away at the list of great movies in 1974. It actually is sort of like overlooked because we talk a lot about stuff from the 80s on. But 74 is fantastic. You guys, Godfather Part 2, Blazing Saddles, Chinatown, Death Wish, there's a Murder on the Orient Express, Young Frankenstein, The Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds, Conversation, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which kind of predates like the Halloween slasher stuff getting really crazy. Same thing happens with Black Christmas, also a precursor to Halloween. So there's a lot of stuff in 74 that was really, really good. Really, really good. So, yeah.
Did you mention Blazing Saddles?
Mm-hmm. I did mention
I was
Blazing.
I was a little surprised when I was looking up 74 that both those Mel Brooks movies came out that same year.
Yep. Yeah, he's back in the day where they could be that prolific making movies. Now they take 3 to 5 years making stuff. I still don't understand why, but let's see. Yeah, Muslim Uncle says, I can't watch movies unless I'm represented. Oh, Sufi Muslim. Mm-hmm. I see what you're doing. I don't watch movies. It's like, I got you. Okay. Let's see here. And then Denzel's too old. So is Tom, for that matter. I hope they don't remake it. I agree. I was just theoretical. Skyscraper. I know, you're right. That's a good point. Skyscraper is kind of like a ripoff of this movie in a lot of ways.
The Rock.
Yeah.
The
Terrible
Rock.
movies. Is that where he leaps from the building? Is it like he
Yes.
just leaps into the air of
Yes.
nothing? That's completely nuts. Yeah, completely nuts. There's so much
San
bad.
Andreas. That and
Yeah.
San Andreas, I think, was running around in a 2-pack, and I was like, why?
Man,
Why?
those were really rough. Those were really rough press screenings for the old pop. So you can imagine Loki, my face, coming out when they have these little. They have this little lady. She's a sweet lady. She comes out. Her name was Rosie, and she'd always ask you, "Oh, you got to give her like a blurb to tell the studio because it's the immediate response from the critics, right?" And it was like, "Ooh, Rosie, that was another rough one. Let's just say, it's like, I like the cat." It'd be like, it'd be
I
like,
like the
well,
cat.
it was rough. So, all right. So, Ironcaster, you what did you hate about this movie?
I would say if I had to come up with any complaint for it, it's probably going to be the runtime because I feel like at nearly 3 hours long, it had a bit more going for it than like there was so much in the movie, and I felt like it was getting to be a bit extensive. Like I wish they would have cut this down a bit more. Even if we could have knocked 20 minutes off, I would be happier with it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I can't totally be critical because yeah, it is a little on the long side. I think that the trimming is similar to what I would do with most modern movies. I'm going to trim things here and there. I'm not cutting whole sequences out. I don't feel like we need to lose whole sequences, but they could be a little faster. But
Well, if we're
fair enough.
talking like, for example, when they were trying to climb down and we get to the stairwell where where Steve McQueen and the kids are all trying to climb down. It's like we could have probably shaved 5 minutes off of that, or could have done something to shorten that scene as an example.
All right. Before I get it to get more feedback from Loki or even SQUEEKA, I wanted to share what I thought was like the craziest poster. I don't have any reference of what this poster's for. It's on
Oh, no.
IMDb, so you guys can tell me what the heck is going on in this poster.
Oh dear.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
What?
I feel like we're being punked. I feel like it belongs to some other movie, and they somehow got it attached to Tower Inferno.
Like
But
nothing is right on it. Like what?
yeah, I feel like it's one of the ones that Ironcaster found through Ghana, but it doesn't say Ghana on it or anything like that. So
I mean, the building
Isn't
is
that
the only
bad
thing
shit?
remotely similar.
Isn't that bad shit?
No, you're
Guana.
thinking of guano.
it is.
Guano, yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it looks like
Yeah.
bad shit. Sorry.
Yeah, I was.
Nightmares. That's creepy.
He turned Ghana into guano. That's great. I didn't even catch what was happening there for a minute. Loki got me good. I'm like, what are you talking about backcraft for? What are we talking about? Oh, I said Ghana. Okay, now I understand. Okay. SQUEEKA, some other favorite parts?
That kid's.
Oh, those are epic headphones back in the
I
day,
mean,
man.
how did y'all miss? I was like, he came busted in with those little. I'm like, yes, and then he takes them off, and they're so loud.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. I love the scene where do all the jibber jabber with the elevator and the brake on it.
Right. Yeah. So many good moments, so many good scenes, and other people. I didn't even know this guy's name. I had to look it up. This is Felton. The actor's name is Felton Perry. He just gets to be the other guy, the other cool firefighter guy. He just keeps showing up, trying to save people. Yeah, like it a lot. So.
But I love the different effects. I love how the fire was out of control, but controlled at the same time. Like you didn't. It really did kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. You didn't know what was going to happen to these people. They you know, you would hear. Oh, there was the sad part about the people that got in the elevator when they were told not to. But, so you would hear like, okay, well, this is going to be fine. Okay, no, this isn't going to be fine. Oh, but look, we fixed this other thing. Oh, but now that's not working again. So it's like there were so many little twists and turns in this movie that it wasn't necessarily hokey, but it was like, oh yay, we're getting somewhere. And then like with the buoy, that dude all like gets on the buoy and then all 4 or 5 of them fall off of it, and you kind of see that coming once he starts getting antsy. But when they first get the buoy, you're like, okay, I don't know how this is going to work with all these people going one at a time, but this is great. Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, Loki, it took you back. That's for sure. I did my part here. Took you back to some old school memories right there.
Oh yeah, and I totally agree. I think SQUEEKA said this first. It might have been before we started. It might have been after. And then Ironcaster just said it. Some of this could have been shortened up a little bit and brought the movie together a little better. You could more suspense. You're not like, okay, can you guys finish doing whatever it is you're doing now and just move on? Besides that, it's great, man.
Yeah,
it absolutely is great. And like SQUEEKA said, the kid with the earmuffs, the antennas coming off of those.
Yeah.
So you could keep a signal back then because Walkmans didn't exist. So you couldn't just walk around with a tape of your own music. The only way you could do that was to listen to radio. Shit, man.
Oh,
That's
speaking of the
great.
sign of the times, like where there he's in the fire suit and it's asbestos and it's kind of flame retardant, but it's not what we have today. So like when he walks through that fire and he's like, "I'm burning up, get this off of me," like because the heat is still going through. It's not heat
Yeah, that's
resistant, it's
good.
just flame retardant. So it's like you don't think about things that we have now that they didn't necessarily have back then. So especially like the firefighters at the time, yes, they had flame retardant clothing, but it wasn't heat retardant. Like it didn't have the insulating layers and it didn't keep you cool like it does now. And like just that scene too, or them strapping on those big huge tanks, like the him, why is it got to be so heavy? Or that scene, like I said, where he's like, it is, I'm burning up, and they literally strip it. Like he helps him strip down. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, there's little details like that, I think, that really make the film so rewatchable because you get so immersed in it, and then that moment happens, you're like, "Oh, man, yeah." So it's like little things like that. I think, it's funny how we don't really circle back for Talk Hard, but I almost feel like I wonder what the Squeeka's second watches will be like. You know what I mean? The rewatch.
Oh, I'm
What the
definitely watching this again. I love this movie. It's sad, but at least I know the sad parts are coming. And I want the cool part about movies like this is I want to see the watchability on it a second time. I want to see if I'm going to feel any different because I know these people aren't going to make it.
Interesting. I just love all the special effects, dumping actual stars in these situations where they're going to get around heat and flame, all the water. Things about stuntman who actually gets burned, like poor guy. He actually got a little injured. They just epic staging, planning, execution. It's just phenomenal. Headlined by just great stars who are just so committed to delivering great performances and great visions. Just yeah, I'm glad we are able to fit this one in. I wasn't sure how this would go for folks that aren't familiar with the old disaster movies. Because Ironcaster, you had a good point, and I'm really willing to concede that to you. So I get it. I get the modern stuff for sure. But with that said, Ironcaster, how you want to score this one, my friend?
Yeah, it's all of my apprehensions about kind of disaster movies in general, just from the last 20, 25 years or so of them. Uh, I'm glad I got around to finally seeing this. It's been on the list of something I really should get to seeing. Uh, my issue with, I think, ultimately the length of the film aside, it is worth watching. It's a very enjoyable film. It didn't come across as dumb, and it really kind of got me thinking about all the safety precautions we have around fire, with modern life that we take for granted some 50 years later. So for that, it's done an important job of actually probably helping to bring awareness to that. So all of that said, I'm gonna say it's a solid 7. It's a movie well worth watching. Uh, Not one I would exactly say is highly entertaining. I'm just not into disaster movies, but I'm glad I saw it. I like Steve McQueen in it. And there's a few other actors I like in it, but it's not something I can't bring myself to give a high score to.
It's not a disaster movie guy. He's not a disaster. What do you think, Squeaka? Here's
Oh,
the
I was
genius, by the way.
excited because I thought he was going to rank it way lower than that. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
I thought it was going to be like a 5 or a 4 because
Oh
he's not
no,
a
he came
disaster.
around. He came around to a 7. Gave us a
Oh,
solid score. So there's the great Irwin Allen, just for those of you at home. So how about you, Squeaka? How you want to score something like this?
well, like I said, I want to go back and watch it. It might be lower the second time around because I know what's going to happen. But for a first time watch, a movie this old, the effects, and yeah, I agree that there's parts that could have been trimmed or what have you. And the nerdy parts where I'm like, okay, the guy just put a wet towel on his head. There's no reason his head should be on fire. Ignore those parts. They did effects. They wanted to emphasize how horrible this was. And, so the nitpicking aside, like I easily an 8.5 or a 9. This was an astounding movie, especially for its time. Like the buildup of the people, the way you get vested in their lives, the way it makes you feel like this person's going to survive, but then they don't, or this person's not going to survive and they do, and just the dedication it has to the firefighters. Like you see what they go through and the way he takes care of them. He's like, yeah, you're going to go on break, and the little things you learn, like why is it called a 5-alarm fire? Well, because he keeps seeing how bad it is, so he rings yet another alarm, so another group comes out. Like you learn teeny tiny tidbits all along the way too. So it's
True.
easily like an 8.5, 9 for me. The only reason it's not higher is just it's a little too long, in my opinion, and they killed the cat lady.
Yep. Snorty with the new system over here. All right, here we go.
I give it 3 antennas out of 4 on my headphones.
There you go. Loki, how about you, my friend? What are you thinking about the legal tower in Inferno?
Easily 8.5 to a 9. There's very few problems with this movie. Wonderful cast, huge cast of great people, and like I said, just the little bit of, and we could cut a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. They could have totally done that and made the movie shorter. I think that would have been better than everything we got, but some people are going to be a purist and say, no, leave it exactly the way it is. Don't touch anything. Don't edit anything. And there's movies we've seen like that in the past. We brought up Lord of the Rings earlier. You've got Aliens. You've got all these different movies where you watch the special cut, the uncut version, and you're like, damn, there's so much more here. So, yeah.
Wait, this one doesn't have an uncut version, does it?
No. I'm just saying if they'd have cut it, this would have been the uncut version.
Yeah, Highwayman said 8 out of 10. Pretty much my 9th grade year rewatched the film of VHS. Still watch it when it comes on cable TV. Yeah, get yourself a physical copy, my friend. Get yourself a copy. You can probably find it for $1, Benz, because people don't even know. Like this is just, yeah. Anything that is sort of like before 1990s, you can find cheap, especially on DVD. People, you don't mind buying DVDs, get a DVD, or you can order a nice, gonna order a copy online. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm shocked, but I'm thrilled. You guys came around to the old, 8.5, 9 type score for me. I thought I was kind of in the minority here. I will agree. I understand the desire to want to trim it, but I think when you trim it, the problem that you run into is like what you were saying earlier, Squeak. It'll be like the mayor and his wife talking about, I'm not sure everybody can get out of here alive. I'm not sure what are we going to do, and you end up with these moments that those are the ones that get cut. They don't really move the story forward, but they're adding layers to the characters and what happens to them. Who makes it, who doesn't make it. You know what I mean? It's like it gives you the oomph for the people at home.
The stairwell where they find out it's blocked, and then the firemen come up and they're setting the charges. Like there's not a whole lot of conversation there where they're setting the charge and telling the kids to cover their ears, and like there's a good probably 5 minutes of them setting those charges and moving the kids out of the way and talking about it. That's to me unnecessary. Even some of them setting the charges on the roof could be removed. Like I feel like there's not conversation pieces, but just small pieces of action that are absolutely unnecessary.
I wonder. I don't have time to look up which firefighter it is. I know Bobby Brady. They're not going to want to cut Bobby Brady. That's the little boy. They're not going to want to cut him out more because he's the Brady Bunch kid, right? So that's also a factor in this movie. I don't know. Loki, you can probably speak to this too, right? 1970s contracts and agreements and getting this many stars together. I joked earlier, but I'm not joking because it happened. Steve McQueen said I need 12 more lines. I have the same number of lines as Newman. I could see people demanding a certain number of lines, screen time, whatever, and he's kind of trapped into maybe that first draft of the script, and that's one of the reasons it's so long. That seems more reasonable to me as an explanation than it
Because
does like
studios had to work together. So if let's
yeah,
say
yeah,
Steve McQueen was working for MGM and Paul Newman was working for Paramount, the studio, whatever studio was making the movie, had to make a deal with the other studio to get the guy they wanted. So if you wanted them both in a movie and they weren't working for the same studio or locked in a contract with the same studio, then they had to work that out. They had to agree and figure out who was going to be in what.
yeah. Good point.
Would they
Because the
have to
one
have so
fireman,
much screen time too, or is it just the lines?
That
Like
would
the
be up to if they weren't working for the same studio, that would be up to them. But if it was two different studios, the studios would be the ones that would have to work that out.
well, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
because
Like,
they're
did back
all
in that time was it was? I know Pop said something about like they, he wanted to have the same number of lines, so they had to have 12 more lines. Would they ever come up and say, "Well, this person has an hour of screen time, so I want an hour of screen time too," or
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Oh, really?"
yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I think that like the one firefighter, I don't remember which one's which. I think it's the guy that was afraid to go down the elevator shaft first. Or no, I'm sorry, he's the one who thought he might fall. And
Yeah.
McQueen's character goes, "You got to go first." Haha, you got to go first so you don't fall and kill us. I think that's the one that's Paul Newman's son. So you end up with these situations too. Like that's my kid. You're not cutting my kid's scene. You know what I mean? So there's little things like that too that factor into that runtime. And again, this is all different type of politicking, especially when again this is the first time two studios ever came together for an agreement like this. So all bets are off on what some of this stuff was. And I'm sure if we dug deeper into the trivia and behind the scenes stuff, we might be able to unpack a little bit of it. And I also think this was Irwin Allen also banking on getting butts in the seats. He like knew, hey, listen, I got to showcase the fact that I got Richard Chamberlain in this movie, and I got O.J. Simpson in this movie, and I've got Robert Wagner in this movie. We didn't even mention Robert Vaughn. He's kind of like showing up again as another sleazy kind of character. Robert Vaughn is the senator in this. If you
But
remember,
he was
SQUEEKA,
good. He tried
he
to
was
fight
that.
the guy on the swing.
Yeah, no, he kind of came. You felt like he was going to be a slimy, you didn't want to root for him kind of guy. And then at the end, he's like, no, we're going to make sure we try to save lives. Like, wow, Senator's delivered.
Yeah, he was busting it. Like he
Yeah.
was. I was so proud of him, especially after watching
Bullet when he was slimy and Bullet.
Bullet.
Remember?
Yes,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bullet.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
my brain munched. I was like the other
Yeah.
McQueen movie.
Yeah. All
but
right.
but
It's good
yeah,
stuff. It's good
I was
stuff.
so proud of him.
Well, yeah, good stuff. It's really fun, and I know that if you don't like disaster movies, Ironcaster, try to put Irwin's in a different category for Poseidon Adventure and Earthquake, which I haven't watched in a long time. I don't have a copy of Earthquake. I got to get myself a copy of Earthquake. Those are kind of like the trifecta of his resume. Now, he also did a ton of other stuff back in the day and comes from a long, long history of as a filmmaker and a creator that you would respect. Of, the way you talk about practical effects and miniatures and how to make things. And I think he worked under one of the King Kong guys, the original King Kong guy. He worked with that guy at one point. So, yeah, this is a great, great, great experience to have this shared with everybody for sure. So, let's see what we got going on here. Hey there, man. Great to see you. Thanks for hopping in there. Love that. Always loves good shaggy emojis, shaggy avatars. So, Wednesday's coming. That's the best way. It's the middle of the week's gotten better. We have talk. We go from Ironcaster gets things kicked off with his Mech Monday, and we have Loki's morning show with our friend Xenomorph guy. We enjoy all this. It's going great. And then we get to Tuesday, we do this, and then we get to Wednesday, we get to have some YouTube talk. Still call it YouTube talk more than you don't. You do call it that more than you don't. So
It's changed. It has definitely
it's evolving,
changed.
right?
'Cause it used to, yeah, it's evolving. It used to be mainly like, well, we'll talk about a general, this happened or that happened, and very general. And and now it's much more. No, we're absolutely going to paint a target on these horrible people that scammed, $15 million in Medicaid, Medicare, and then partied every night on social media and had 200 girls over to their $1 million mansions and stupid shit like that. So yeah,
But I didn't think I was gonna get caught, so that's why I didn't.
most don't.
Or taken down by a Karen at the peak of their power.
Yes, taken down by a Karen at the peak of her power. That's
Great,
amazing.
man.
It's Philly's Karen. The Philly's Karen outside. As soon as I saw that white comb over, I was like, "Oh no, it's Philly's Karen. Philly's Karen got him."
Oh, Snorty, I know his name. I was just trying to be goofy about it. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I'm sure Zeropian wouldn't have taken I know their names. Yeah, no, it's great, man. I think that I'm really happy you're doing it. I really am. Just the awareness of all this kind of crap and the stuff that's going on in the world, man. It's unpacking. It's still nuts. My wife has lost a wrench, man, in her brain about the fact that we had an election on Tuesday and then suddenly there's not a riot or protest to be found anywhere. Now that's come back in the last couple of days, but it was like a week and a half or so of nothing. It's like, oh, I wonder if there was an agenda or not. It's like once you see it, you can't unsee it, kind of thing.
Imagine that.
Yeah. All right, Cash, are you going to be on again later?
Kind of waiting to hear from T-shirt on that. He's been kind of going through a little bit of stuff lately, and I'm just kind of waiting by on the sidelines. So if he wants to go live, I'll be there with him.
All right, man. Well, make sure you're connected to Ironcaster. Make sure you catch that Monday show. Find out what's going on there. He's on a couple other things too. Make sure you put in your bio on your YouTube channel. Put in some of your other links to the other channels too. So on this show, blah blah blah, on this show, something like that. That's my suggestion. Yeah. Squeeka lady, we made you laugh. We made you cry.
You made me cry.
I did. I didn't mean to make you cry.
And there's the scene where they show all of the firefighters in the body bags, guys.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Guys, that's rough. Spoilers.
And McQueen delivering like over and over again with just non-acting acting. You know what I mean? Just dude is just a superstar. Just there's so many scenes where it's just facial expressions, just responding. Just I wonder. I didn't look it up. I don't know if it was even any of those featurettes or not. Do you guys know? Doesn't it feel like McQueen spent time with the local fire department or something to learn how they talk to each other and how they kind of interact with each other?
In the credits, it talks about how they had firefighters talking to them. Like they had like firefighter directors. Like there was 2 different battalions.
I think
they had.
So who back then is gonna go no to Steve McQueen going, hey, bud, how's it going? Listen, I'm just wondering, is there any kind of language or anything you guys use? How do you, interact with each other? They're going to go, oh, Mr. McQueen, it's such a pleasure. Yes, indeed, there is, and they're gonna go into it because that was freaking Steve McQueen.
Mm-hmm.
So during the filming, an actual fire broke out at one of the sets, and Steve McQueen found himself briefly helping real firefighters put it out. One of the firefighters, not recognizing Steve McQueen, said to the actor, "My wife is not going to believe this." To which McQueen replied, "Neither is mine."
That's fantastic. Oh, he's great. He's great. So, man, I tell you what, the Steve McQueen stories and some of the stuff from this era of celebrity, it's still mind-blowing. Stuff happens. I will say, though, I got to share with someone, totally off topic, by the way, but you'll get it. Someone didn't know, because I've been watching Mayor of Kingstown again, because we're headed into season 4, whatever. Jeremy Renner, the Hawkeye guy, whatever. He's the guy that got hit by the snowplow, right? And nearly got himself killed. Somebody didn't know the story. And I was like, I get to share the story. Like, so it's kind of interesting how, even though we have social media and the news and all that, there still are sort of like blanks and holes for people. I thought that was a pretty big thing about the dude getting hit by the snowplow, but evidently
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of you're not really in the kind of like the movie celebrity circles though. So I get that.
Trying. I know who Steve McQueen is now. Look, I know the dressing guy and the heart-to-heart guy.
All right, so we're gonna put a pin in this reference that next year when we talk about Wind River, which is a movie I put on the schedule on purpose, and we talk about the guy that's starring in Wind River, you'll be like, "That's a snowplow guy." You'll be like, "Well, I remember that last year." So there you go. I'm working on it.
Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
He got run over by the plow.
Yeah, run over by a snowplow. Always staying with this scene back at the 1/3 of the film when McQueen and the company find the body of Robert Wagner, identify him only by the jewelry. Dan Bigelow. Nope, never heard of him. It's like he must be a civilian. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of moments that are pretty rough. And I warned her. So if you watch this Poseidon Adventure without me, you were warned. You will cry. It is way worse than this movie. Just so you know, as bad as this movie is and you cry, Poseidon Adventure is worse. And like I forgot until I just watched it. I was like, man, man, I don't want to say a word.
I feel like I've seen Earthquake. I might have heard about it, but I feel like I've seen that. I might have seen that one. That one sounds familiar. Maybe I'm just thinking of the poster. Maybe I've seen the cool poster for it.
It was a great fun ride back in the day at Universal Studios. I wish, you know what, Loki? I think people like to do, like the time travel thing. If you could go back in time, kind of thing. You know what, dude? I wish we could go back together and we could enjoy Universal Studios when it first opened before they mess with it.
Yes.
The original Earthquake, the original Jaws, the original King Kong ride, stuff like that. And they broke all the time, but it was still a blast, bro. The Hitchcock thing, we could get people. Could you imagine if they picked us to be part of the reenactment stuff? Oh my gosh, it would be so epic. Oh my gosh.
There's a Hitchcock thing?
There used to be. It's all gone.
Used to be. It's all gone.
I love Hitchcock.
Well, they used to pick you out of the audience. They pick you out of the audience to participate. Can you imagine us as hams as we are up there? Oh,
the Jaws thing is kind of still there. So when we were there in March, they drained it, and you could see the tracks. You could see the tracks that the shark used to run on.
Yeah, so, there's the hanging shark by the one
with?
restaurant.
They didn't. It's just like a big pond. It's still got. What's his name? Shark shop there. It's just.
I remember the shark shop. Because I wondered what that went to. Because I went in April, but I don't know if I remember seeing a Jaws thing.
Yeah, there's like a little restaurant there, which is kind of like San Francisco decorations. There's a little shark hanging, and that's that's where he is. That's where the Bruce shark is. Then that's not actually a shark from the ride. That's the shark that used to hang out front for photos, but it is kind of the thing. So, yeah. The memories, the days. The original Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh man, it's not even the same theme park. I don't even tell people. There was like a movie ride where they take you around this little thing and they had fake explosions, all this stuff, whatever, and you could see the boneyard. And the boneyard was full of actual movie props, like actually. Disney had one too. Like there were actually like movie props. You could see a snowspeeder prop from Empire Strikes Back, and you could see. I actually saw a Jaws, an actual Bruce. There's a few of the mechanical sharks and stuff like that. I don't think any of that stuff exists.
Wait, the shark's name. The shark has a name in Jaws.
Yeah, the shark's name was Bruce after Steven Spielberg's lawyer. Yeah.
Is that what that song "Don't Bring Me Down, Bruce" is from?
Nope. But it definitely tracks, though. It's a good call. I like what you did there. No, you did good. I thought it was good. Yeah. Well, because lawyers are sharks. Get it?
Yeah. I got the lawyer part. I just was like, is that why the song is "Don't Bring Me Down, Bruce"? Because it's named after the shark?
I don't know, but it sounds right now, but it wasn't as I think back in the day. So
I love the idea.
Yeah, I do too. So, folks, listen, you guys are amazing out there. Thank you all for joining us and hanging out with us. You're watching after the fact. Leave some comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Been a great time. Great hanging out with everyone. And you guys are amazing and generous. I can't thank you enough for all that you guys do. It's amazing. So, with that, folks, you guys be blessed. Talk hard. Until next time, I am Pops.
Bob Ross, you'll never see me tripping. Got the vision now.